9 years ago, when I left my marriage, I wasn't thinking about beliefs. Honestly, I was just trying to survive. I had a 6 year old daughter. I didn't have a job. I didn't have financial security. I didn't know where my life was going. I didn't know what my future would look like. If someone had told me then that one day I would be sitting here and recording a podcast about that chapter of my life, I probably wouldn't have believed it. Not because it sounded impossible, because at that point I just couldn't see a future. When you're emotionally exhausted, you stop thinking years ahead. You're just trying to get through today. You're trying to get through to the next conversation, the next bill, the next decision, the next wave of emotions, the next thing that you have to deal with. And that's where I was. Like many women going through separation and divorce, I thought my biggest challenge would be rebuilding my life. But looking back now, I realized something else was also happening along, something I couldn't see at the time. I wasn't just losing a marriage, I was also losing a set of beliefs. Beliefs I had carried for years, beliefs I had built my decisions around, beliefs that felt so normal that I never stopped to question them. And when those beliefs started falling apart, it felt incredibly uncomfortable. Because beliefs give us certainty, they help make sense of our lives. Even when they aren't helping us, even when they are keeping us stuck, at least they feel familiar. And human beings hold on tightly to familiar things. That's just how we are, even the painful ones. Today, I want to talk about some of those things I stopped believing after my divorce. Not because I have all the answers and not because my journey should be your journey, but because sometimes hearing another woman's experience helps us understand our own. Sometimes it gives us language for things we have been feeling but haven't been able to explain. And maybe as you listen, you will recognize some of these beliefs in your own life too. When people talk about divorce, they usually talk about the practical side, the legal process, the financial stress, the children, the paperwork, the living arrangements, the uncertainty, uh, and all of this does matter. But there's another layer that doesn't get talked about enough, the beliefs that quietly collapse. Nobody warned me about that. Nobody told me that one day I would sit there questioning things I had believed for so many years. Nobody told me that divorce wouldn't just change my circumstances, they would change the way I looked at life itself. Because when something major happens, it forces us to examine the stories we have been telling ourselves. Stories about love, stories about marriage, stories about happiness, stories about what a successful life looks like, stories about who we are. And when those stories stop making sense, it can feel incredibly unsettling. Because suddenly you're standing between two versions of reality, the one you used to believe, and the one life is showing you now. And that's where many women get stuck. They think they are only grieving the relationship, but often they are grieving the future they imagined, the life they expected, the beliefs they trusted. And sometimes that grief runs deeper than they realize. Let's talk about the beliefs then. First one, I need a partner to be happy. This is probably one of the biggest beliefs I just stopped believing. And I don't mean that I suddenly became anti relationship. That's not what I'm saying. I still believe healthy relationships can add a lot of joy to our lives. But I stopped believing that happiness comes from having a partner only. Because for a long time, I had quietly connected those two things. Not consciously, but deeply. Somewhere inside of me, I believed that marriage meant happiness, companionship meant happiness, marriage meant security, marriage meant belonging, marriage meant stability. And when my marriage wasn't giving me those things, I kept hoping things would change. I stayed hoping. I stayed believing. I stayed waiting for things to become what I thought they were supposed to be, right? And I think many women understand this, not because they are weak, but because they have invested so much emotionally into the relationship and into believing that it's supposed to be like this. You have spent years believing that if I try a little harder, if things improve, or if we can just fix this, then everything will be okay. I understand that mindset because I lived it. But eventually, life forced me to ask some difficult questions. What if marriage and happiness are not the same thing? What if having a partner doesn't automatically mean feeling loved? What if sharing a home doesn't automatically mean feeling safe? What if being married doesn't automatically mean feeling connected? And perhaps the hardest question of all, what if I could still build a meaningful life without a partner? At that stage, I couldn't imagine it. I genuinely couldn't. I wasn't worried about being alone for 1 year. I was worried about being alone forever. I wasn't worried about rebuilding for a few months. I was worried about rebuilding for the rest of my life. And that's a frightening place to be in. Especially when your entire picture of happiness has been attached to one outcome. But slowly, life taught me something different. A partner can add happiness. A partner can add companionship. A partner can add love. But they cannot become the sole source of your happiness because that's too much of responsibility for any human being. And when we place our happiness entirely in someone else's hands, we end up living in constant fear of losing it. Second belief, people will support me. This lesson hurt more than I expected because I genuinely believe that if I ever face this difficult some situation, people would understand. I thought people would see my pain. I thought people would understand that leaving wasn't easy. I thought people would recognize that no woman walks away from a marriage lightly. I thought people would see the struggle behind the decisions. Instead, I learned something uncomfortable. People don't always see what you have lived through, they see what they believe, and those are not always the same thing. Some people supported me, and I will always be grateful for them. My uncle gave me and my daughter a place to stay when we needed it most. I'll never forget that. But not everyone responded that way. Some people judged me, some people questioned, some gave opinions without understanding the reality, some expected explanations. Some expected justifications. And honestly, that was really painful. Because when you're already carrying emotional pain, criticisms feels even heavier. You're already questioning yourself, and now everyone else seems to be questioning you too. और उस वक्त लगता है क्या मैं गलत हूँ, क्या मुझे और एडजस्ट करना चाहिए था, क्या मैंने जल्दी डिसीजन ले रही हूँ. These questions become louder when you're looking for support and finding judgment instead. But over time, I realized something important. People can only understand life through their own experiences. Someone who has never lived your reality cannot fully understand your reality. That doesn't necessarily make them bad people. It just makes them limited by what they know. And once I understood that, something shifted. I stopped expecting universal approval. I stopped trying to convince everyone. I stopped trying to explain every decision. I stopped exhausting myself trying to get people to agree with me. Because no matter what decision you make, someone will disagree. Someone will have an opinion. Someone will think you should have done something differently. And if you spend your life waiting for everybody's approval, you will never move forward. This is something I see in so many women. They are not waiting for clarity. They are waiting for permission. They are waiting for somebody to say, yes, you are allowed. Yes, you are right. Yes, I support you. And when that permission doesn't come, they freeze. They stay stuck. They keep doubting themselves. Not because they don't know what they need, but because they are waiting for everyone else to agree first. Looking back now, I can see that these beliefs didn't disappear overnight. They just cracked slowly. Life challenged them, reality challenged them, experience challenged them. And every time they cracked, part of me wanted to hold on to those cracks as well. Because old beliefs feel safe, even when they are no longer true, even when they are no longer helping us. Maybe that's where some of you are right now. Maybe you're not only grieving a relationship, maybe you're grieving a belief about love, a belief about marriage, a belief about support, a belief about how life was supposed to unfold for you. And if that's where you are, I want you to know that it's okay to question those beliefs. It's okay if they no longer fit the life you're living. It's okay if life is teaching you something completely different. Because sometimes clarity doesn't arrive when we find new answers. Sometimes clarity begins when an old belief starts falling apart. Looking back, divorce didn't only change my life, it changed what I believed about life. And the next beliefs that I would talk about, I stopped believing were even harder because they weren't about marriage, they weren't about other people, they were about me. Life ends after divorce. This is a belief that many women don't say aloud, but they feel it. Because when you have spent years building your life around one future, it's difficult to imagine another one. You thought this would be your life. You thought this was your story. your fairy tale romance, your party. You thought these were the people who would be there. You thought this was how things would unfold. And when that picture breaks, it can feel like life itself has broken. I remember feeling something similar. Not that life had literally ended, but that the life I had imagined had ended. There's a difference. The future I thought was moving towards disappeared. The plans disappeared, the assumptions disappeared, and the certainty I confused that with my life ending. But looking back now, I realized something very, very important. I wasn't grieving only what happened, I was grieving what I thought would happen. And I think many women get stuck there. Not because they miss the relationship or sometimes not even the person, but because they miss the future they had built around that relationship. The family picture, the growing old picture, everything will work out picture, the dream. And when the dream breaks, it can feel like there is nothing left because eventually life starts moving again. Not because you're ready, not because you've healed, but because you suddenly become positive. Life moves because life moves. One day you handle a problem, then another, then another. Maybe you pay a bill. Someday you make a decision. Another day you solve something. You survive a difficult week. And slowly, without even noticing it, you begin building a future again. Not the future you planned, a different one. And sometimes years later, you will look back and realize the ending I feared was actually a beginning that I just couldn't see at the time. Another belief, I can't do it alone. This was a belief I stopped believing completely. Not because someone convinced me, because life forced me to test it. When I left, I didn't feel strong. I think that's important to say because many women look at someone who has rebuilt their life and assume confidence came first. It did. I wasn't sitting there feeling powerful. I wasn't feeling fearless. I wasn't feeling ready. I was scared. I was confused, overwhelmed. There were many moments when I genuinely didn't know how things would work out. But life has a strange way of teaching us things. Sometimes it doesn't give us confidence first. Rather, most of the time, it doesn't give us confidence first. It gives us responsibility first. And confidence, of course, comes in later. I had a daughter looking at me. Bills had to be paid. Decisions had to be made. Life didn't pause while I figured everything out. It didn't give me that chance. I had to keep moving. Not because I felt capable, because honestly, there was no other alternative. And over time, something surprising happened. Every small thing I handled became evidence. Evidence that I could handle one more thing, then one more, then another one, and then one more. And eventually, I realized something. Strength is rarely something we discover. More often, it's something we build one difficulty at a time, one difficult day at a time, one uncomfortable decision at a time, one problem at a time. And that's why I no longer believe that we have to feel ready before we move forward. Many women tell me, Aparna, I don't think I can do this. And honestly, I understand that feeling. But most of the time, they're already doing it. They're going to work, looking after children, managing responsibilities, making decisions, handling the emotional pain. They are already carrying more than they realize. They just haven't given themselves credit for it yet. Another belief. If everyone disagrees with me, I must be wrong. This belief trust me, took the longest to let go of. Because this wasn't really about divorce, this was about self trust. And self trust is something many women lose long before the relationship ends. It happens slowly. A comment here, a criticism there, sometimes being told you're too emotional, too sensitive, probably too dramatic, overreacting, ziddi, misunderstanding, overthinking. After enough years, you stop questioning the criticism. You start questioning yourself. And that's where the real damage happens. Because eventually, maybe they are wrong, becomes maybe I'm wrong. And then maybe I can't trust myself. I see this pattern all the time. Women apologizing before expressing an opinion, women asking for permission to have a feeling, women staying silent to avoid conflict, women ignoring their instincts because everyone around them disagrees. And over time, they become disconnected from their own inner voice. और फिर एक दिन वो कहती है मुझे समझ ही नहीं आता आ रहा मैं क्या चाहती हूँ. अरे the problem isn't that they don't know. The problem is that they have spent years learning not to listen to themselves. That was one of the biggest lessons of my own journey. Learning to trust myself again. Not perfectly, not instantly, just slowly through small decisions, tiny decisions that I have taken. Not all were right, some were wrong. Simple decisions, making a choice, living with the outcome, realizing ki right decision or wrong decision. I survived. And then making another choice. And then living with that outcome. And realizing I survived that too. And little by little, trust started returning. Not because somebody gave it to me, because I practiced it. So, what do I believe now? After everything, after the separation, after the legal battles, after the uncertainty, after the rebuilding, what do I actually believe? I believe peace is more important than appearances. I believe loneliness and being alone are not the same thing. I believe people can love you and still not understand you. I believe waiting for universal approval is a losing game. I believe self trust is built through small decisions. I believe happiness is something we create, not something another person gives us. I believe life can look completely different from what you planned and still contain joy. I believe starting over is frightening but possible. And perhaps most importantly, I believe we are capable of far more than we think we are. Not because life is easy, but because human beings adapt. We learn, we grow, we build, and we rebuild. We often, in ways we have never imagined, we live that way. If I could sit beside the woman who left her marriage 9 years ago, I don't think I would tell her everything would be okay. Because honestly, there were years they weren't okay. There were difficult days, there was fear, there was uncertainty, there were legal battles, there were moments of exhaustion, moments of doubt, moments where the future felt very, very far away. I wouldn't pretend those things didn't exist. But I would tell her this: the beliefs you're losing today are not proof that your life is falling apart. They may be proof that you are outgrowing them. The beliefs that once felt true may no longer fit the woman you're becoming. And right now, you probably can't see that. I couldn't either. But one day you'll look back and realize something. The end of your marriage was not the end of your story. And losing those old beliefs was not the tragedy you thought it was. It was the beginning of seeing yourself different. And sometimes that's where a new life begins.